I'd like to take now the next minute to introduce a very new and very good friend of mine, Bishop Ronald Godbee, a nationally recognized leader in Christian fellowship and presiding prelate of the National River Fellowship of Churches and pastor of the Durham River Church, which I've had the honor and pleasure of visiting a couple of times, has over 1,000 members. Bishop Godbee is the author of a book titled, Why Leaders Fail. He is described as a transformative leader and model of the passion of worship and love for all peoples. Before assuming religious leadership, he was a police sergeant who attended these exchanges just as Chief Davis did. Bishop Godbee.
I want to personally thank the esteemed bodies represented that have exhibited the care and courage to make today possible. I am humbled and honored to weigh in on this conversation. As Dr. Godbee said, my name is Ronald Godbee, and I serve as the lead pastor of the River Church in Durham, and I serve as the presiding bishop of the River Fellowship International. The city of Durham is declared to be the city of medicine, which should not be a slogan that reflects the pure genius of its medical institutions alone, but it should reflect the genius of its leadership's ability to lead us towards being a city that is a place of healing for all people. Durham is a microcosm of the melting pot that America is. I am a native of Detroit, Michigan, but I moved my wife and 3 children to a foreign land called Durham 7 years ago. It's amazing how we don't see domestic moves as migrations, but in essence they are. When you pack up and leave everything that you know and love to move to another place, it takes courage and determination that not everyone is willing to exercise. Whatever the reason for a move, it is often underpinned with hopes, dreams, and aspirations that drive the decision. When I moved my family here, I trusted that Durham would be just what it said it would be, a place of healing. As a stakeholder in the community, I expect the leadership of this city that I have come to love to carry out the mantra that it espouses. I, along with many whom I represent, feel violated and threatened by any leader that spews racially divisive rhetoric that undermines the racial harmony and healing for the citizens that they are called to serve. As a leader, I am keenly aware that our statements hold great value. They should never be judged by our intent alone, but by the outcomes of the statements that are made. Our intent may have the purest motives, but if our outcomes do not align with our motives, we should be the first to retract or apologize for the statements made. If any leader's statements has this level of negative impact on a community and there is no retraction, it speaks directly to the motives, the intention, and character of the leader. If I step on your shoes and I didn't mean to, I simply apologize and say I'm sorry. If I step on your shoe and I meant to, I don't prepare an apology, I prepare for a fight. Intentions are known by the apology or by the aggression to defend the stance that the leader has made. When any population of people in our city is radically affected by the words of one of its leaders, it is incumbent that this leader retract or apologize and not double down on their actions. As an ex-police sergeant, now community leader, I want the department of my city to be equipped with every skill set and resource available to them. As we all know, Durham is rapidly growing, and from one angle, growth is exciting to watch. But from another angle, our police department must realize all of the negative nuances that come with it. It would behoove any leader of any growing city and police agency to gather and garner resources to equip their officers for the challenges that have come with the demands of growth. I commend and applaud Chief Davis for being proactive in this area. If I were still an officer, I would be privileged to work under her leadership. For the leaders of our great city to vilify a proposed program and demonize a people based upon the location of where a program is being offered is an egregious use of power and is not reflective of what we expect from those who lead this city called Durham, which we know as the City of Medicine. This is not a prescription that heals, but it truly is one that kills. Any doctor having written such a prescription would be immediately called to task. And so why shouldn't our council persons? My brother served as the 40th Chief of Police in the wonderful city of Detroit, and this program, which has been inappropriately categorized, is a very well-respected program in policing. To make a blanket assertion without any, for instance, or empirical data to substantiate such claim should be unacceptable for any reasonable human being. Officers obviously don't need to travel beyond their own agencies to learn negative policing habits. If our concern is with any, it should be with the policies and procedures that allow the threshold of a department's when to shoot policy to be minimalized by the intent of fear for the officer's life alone. Our focus should be on police academies that create aggressive behaviors in officers and release them amongst the citizens of America to occupy their communities and not protect their communities. As a leader, it is vitally important to me to qualify leadership by the patterns and precepts that it establishes, not just for a polarized group, but leadership should be measured by its ability to serve all who are part of this wonderful city. We cannot afford for this seed of discord and division to be planted, as it will only allow to grow a resting place for the buzzards of the air to come and lodge and devour our great city. We can live together as the wise, or we can perish together as fools. We have a wonderful opportunity here, and that is to heal the hurts of this great city, to hold our leadership to a standard that reflects the excellence of a city that we all seek to live in, work in, relax in, and even serve in. I pray from this moment that we are inspired to adopt a lexicon that speaks on behalf of all of its citizens. We can no longer speak from our silos to our bases to sustain our seats or to secure our votes, but we must lead because we love people. I've been profoundly impacted as I've talked with citizens of Durham who have been hurt by this issue. If our motives were pure, an apology to our Jewish brothers and sisters is demanded. I count it a privilege and an honor to be here today because I represent someone that is intimately involved and connected in these issues. I feel your plight and I feel your pain. I sympathize and empathize with you and count it a distinct privilege and honor to be in this place to share a platform with men and women of whom I am least. But your very willingness to allow me to stand in this place is the very reason why we need to come together as majority groups to make sure that these divisive tactics that are being leveraged against each of us is never allowed in the borders and the boundaries of Durham ever again. I would ask that you would please continue to call upon us so that we can stand with you and walk with you through these moments so that we can show that there is a people that may not look like you, but there are people who share the same plight as you. Thank you so much for your time.